Recording in progress.
All right, good morning, everyone. Let's call court to order. Today is Tuesday, April 21st, a rainy day in 2026. It's 9 a.m. Proof of posting, please.
The agenda was posted on Wednesday, April 15th, 2026 at 4:30 p.m.
Okay, let's stand briefly for a moment of silence, and then we'll have the pledge to the flags.
Please join the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the Texas pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Lip sync on that one.
Yeah.
Good with all these people.
All right, thank you. Welcome, everyone. Glad to have everybody here. Luckily, today is when we pass the plate for the judge's retirement fund. All right, this time, if there's any members of the public that want to talk to the court on business matters, please do so now. All right. Seeing none?
There's one.
Oh, sorry.
Right there.
Yeah, all right, sorry.
Yes, right here in the middle.
All right, if you would, state your name and where you live, what precinct you're in, and if you keep your remarks under 3 minutes.
Under 3 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Very good, thank you. Dean Darling, 820 Hall Drive, Hallsburg, Texas, Precinct 2. Hi, nice to meet you. Nice talking with you. 11 March 2026, I report to the SO, commercial illegal dumping, a state jail felony, 2 years in jail, $10,000 fine. This criminal act was repeatedly perpetrated using multiple semi-trucks with end dump trailers, elevating this crime to a criminal conspiracy, fine and up to 6 months in jail. For 3 weeks, I have tried to reach Captain Davenport or Chief Deputy Burson. I have yet to speak to either of them. I was told by Deputy Campbell I gave the owner a verbal warning and told him to go ahead and burn it. The owner was just instructed by a deputy to commit a criminal act, burning the material dumped and destroying the evidence of illegal dumping, evidence the TCEQ needed for their investigation. TCEQ did determine the site to be an illegal dumping. I understand the SO did eventually issue a citation for public nuisance, a $10 fine. No one at the SO seems to know who reduced the charges, but this is what I have been told. We try not to give people felonies. An eyewitness is hearsay. That was from a lieutenant. If you don't like this response, file a complaint with TCEQ. I did file that complaint, and I'm glad I did. I have been treated with contempt. I've never been asked for any evidence or for a sworn statement. How could an investigation have been conducted? The Sheriff's Office has failed the taxpayers of McLennan County. Please require accountability. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anyone else? All right, thank you. All right, let's go to under items D, under proclamations and resolutions. Under D1's proclamation honoring Detective Michelle Miller. And I think,
Michael.
oh, Michael. Okay, excuse me, Michael.
He's not changed.
Michelle's going to, Judge.
You don't look like a Michelle. All right, you want to read or you want me to?
Yeah. Get up here. You gonna read it first? Let you read it first. Sorry. She's my expert linguist.
Good morning.
Morning.
A proclamation of the McLennan County Commissioners Court honoring Detective Michael Miller. Whereas true heroism is revealed not in planned moments, but in unexpected circumstances when an individual is faced with the choice between self-preservation and selflessness. And whereas the McLennan County Commissioners Court, mindful of the importance of positive citizenship, believes in the significance of recognizing those individuals who positively affect the communities in which they work and
Sorry.
live. And whereas Detective Michael Miller, while returning to training, witnessed a vehicle enter and become submerged in a river. Without hesitation and with full awareness of the danger before him, Detective Miller immediately acted, attempting to access the submerged vehicle to rescue the occupant. And whereas, after the vehicle disappeared beneath the water, Detective Miller returned to shore, yet remained vigilant as the situation continued to unfold. Upon observing the victim resurface in distress, Detective Miller made the deliberate and courageous decision to enter the water again, despite the risk to his own safety. And whereas, relying on strength, determination, and an unwavering commitment to preserving life with no assurance of outcome and no regard for his own safety, Detective Miller swam back into the river, reached the victim, and brought her safely to shore. And whereas, in the defining moment, Detective Miller made the conscious and selfless decision that another life was worth the risk of his own, a decision that cannot be trained, assigned, or required, but only chosen. And whereas, because of that choice, a life was saved, a family was spared unimaginable loss, and what could have ended in tragedy became a reflection of courage, humanity, and the power of one individual to make a difference. And now therefore be it proclaimed that the McLennan County Commissioners Court wishes to honor and proudly recognize Detective Michael Miller for his extraordinary heroism, decisive action, and selfless commitment to the preservation of human life, and that his actions stand as a lasting testament that in the face of uncertainty, true character is revealed not by what is required, but by what is chosen. And be it further proclaimed that a copy of this proclamation be made a permanent part of the minutes of the Commissioners' Court. Witness our hand and seal this day, the 21st day of April, 2026. Judge Scott M. Felton, Commissioner Precinct 1, James Smith, Commissioner Precinct 3, Will Jones, Commissioner Precinct 4, Ben Perry, and yours truly, Commissioner Precinct 2, D.L. Wilson. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, this wasn't AI, it was written properly. AI didn't do this, so. You know, I heard about this story, and I was involved in a story like this in my career, and it takes a special person to get out of that patrol car and put that badge on, take that oath to do things we do. You know, the day it happened to me, and it probably happened to him, he might not say it, but, you know, somebody tapped me on the shoulder and told me to go back up to a burning 18-wheeler and pull the driver out. So something told him to get in that water, you know, whether he respects for his family, for his kids, for the department, for McLennan County, but it means a lot when all these guys and girls in blue that put these badges on do what they do every day. And I want to thank you personally. Yeah. You sure? Yes. Even babies over here.
Squeezing like we love each other, just a little bit tighter. All right, that's perfect. Okay. May I get the commissioners to join us, please, and Judge?
Okay.
One, two, three. That's perfect.
Congratulations. Appreciate your service. Okay. Motion to approve that proclamation.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Pass. Thank you. All right, next is a proclamation that I'm going to ask Dustin Chapman to read on congratulating Chief Deputy Sherry Pyburn on her 31 years of service. Yeah. Dustin, if you'll read that.
Yes, sir. So this is a McLennan County proclamation recognizing and congratulating Chief Deputy Sherry Pyburn for her 31 years of service. Whereas Chief Deputy Sherry Pyburn has dedicated more than 31 years of exemplary service to McLennan County, beginning her career on September 4th, 1994 in the Bond Office of the Sheriff's Department and advancing through the ranks from jailer to corporal. July 14th, 2009, she was hired as a deputy constable and ultimately constable chief deputy for Precinct 2, demonstrating unwavering commitment, professionalism, and integrity. And whereas she has continually pursued excellence in education and professional development, earning her basic jailer's license, a bachelor's degree in business administration with an emphasis in criminal justice, a Texas peace officer's license, graduation from the Texas Constable's Leadership College, and a master's degree in criminal justice leadership and management. Whereas her distinguished career has been marked by numerous honors and meaningful contributions, including Employee of the Month, Perfect Attendance Awards, the inaugural Jim White Memorial Law Enforcement Scholarship, and recognition as a featured county employee, as well as implementing improved procedures, leading training initiatives, and developing instructional materials that have benefited offices countywide. And whereas Chief Deputy Pyburn's dedication extends beyond her professional service through her volunteerism, leadership in community organizations, active church involvement, participation in youth and community events. And whereas, guided by her principle, treat others the way you would like to be treated, Ms. Pyburn serves as a respected leader, role model, and valued member of the community. And whereas her dedication and service-oriented mindset are a testament to her character, and she has been an invaluable asset to our county team. And now therefore be it proclaimed that the Commissioners Court of McLennan County thank you, Chief Deputy Sherry Pyburn, for your tireless work, your outstanding contributions, and the example you set each day. It's with great pride and gratitude that we recognize your years of loyal service. Be it further proclaimed that a copy of this proclamation be made a permanent part of the minutes of the Commissioners Court. Judge?
All right. Congratulations. Appreciate your service.
Have your family with you?
Yeah.
She wants her family. You look good. I need to read it. Look at the family, then I'll get you.
You get farther out of the way, though.
Chair?
Squeeze it. You know how we love each other. That's perfect. 1, 2, and 3. Steering here.
Beautiful. Oh, Commissioner.
I'm sorry.
Go back that way, please. Wow. Yeah, he did. He fell over. 1, 2, 3.
Competition community.
It's okay.
What's his name?
What's his name?
Adonai.
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 Okay, first name. Commissioner Jones?
I'm so sorry, son.
This young lady was a smiling face when I worked at the jail with her many years ago. It was fun.
Oh, that's perfect. 1, 2, 3. Stay right there. 1, 2, and keep those beautiful smiles. There we go. Thank you.
You got a long speech you want to give.
I just want to give honor to my Lord and Savior, because some of y'all know my story, and I shouldn't even be here. To my mom, my dad, who is not here, but I know he's looking down. He's very proud. He would be so proud today. To my son and my daughter-in-law, who just, they made me a grandmother of 3 now. Last week. No, you're my heart, my blessings. My co-workers, my supervisors, everyone that I've come in contact with, thank you for believing in me and giving me a chance to advance in this career. And I'm so humble and grateful. Thank you so much.
You want to take a little pause, let everybody.
There's a lot of things that we do that are mundane and boring, but not, these are the things that really matter to the community. So
It does.
I appreciate everyone coming to honor these folks, and so we'll take just a 2 or 3 minute recess and let y'all go out with your group if you'd like to, or you stay here and watch the sausage being made. So we'll recess for 3 minutes.
Recording in progress.
Found that thing. All right, let's call court back into session. All right, on that last proclamation, I'd make a motion, we approve that proclamation.
Second.
Have a motion, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass. All right, I'd like to go to items E3A, HR matter with the 474th District Court, E3B, HR matter with the DA's office, and E3C, HR matter with the 54th District Court.
Good morning.
Morning.
So
We ought to get started because Judge Kelly switched the lights on and off.
Well, usually I switch on the alarm, so I thought that was a little milder.
I thought it was the last call, so proceed, Donna.
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone. I have here a request from the 474th District Court. Judge Bennett is requesting an additional court reporter position to help support an upcoming redistribution of felony cases. And the court historically primarily hears civil and family law matters and is designated as the juvenile court. So this would be an influx of new cases or new case types for the court. They had already been supporting a small amount of felony cases this past year. And that did result in 8 jury trials in 2025. So there is an additional workload there. Countywide, the amount of criminal cases filed has increased for the past 2 years, and so that's also contributing to the influx of cases there. And the request for the court reporter position would amount to partial budget this year, but the full year amount is $111,298. For the remainder of this current year, if the position's posted and filled timely, that could be a budget need of $46,374 for the current year. But we put the full amount just so the court has an estimate of what to expect the following fiscal year. And then if Judge Bennett wanted to add anything.
All right. I really appreciate you all receiving me this morning. I do want to tell you we received about 50 felony cases from the 54th in the past 18 months or so. We saw a definite increase in the number of jury trials, but even more importantly, almost double the amount of appeals. And so that's where the appellate records have to be written up by the court reporters. I have one court reporter that's handling all of this at this time, and she's working nights and weekends to get those records filed on time with the Court of Appeals. We are already seeing an upward trend in 2026. We've already had 3 felony trials. Last year at this point, we had not even had a single jury trial, but we've already had 3 just this year. We have 5 more that are scheduled in the coming weeks and months, in addition to the CPS caseload. On top of that, the district judges are going to be meeting soon to discuss a redistribution of the felony caseload. As you know, the 19th and 54th have traditionally handled those cases, and according to the memorandum that Ms. Picasso drew up for you, those numbers just keep going up. So the proposal that I'm going to present to the district judges is that 10% of felony cases be assigned straight to the 474th right after indictment. That right now is about 250, 260 cases. So I told you we took about 50 cases in the last 18 months, but we're talking about multiplying that times 5 beginning in July. The idea is that this would be implemented when the new Tyler Enterprise software goes into effect. I've been working with the district clerk's office. They're ready to push the button or whatever they have to do to make that happen. So that would definitely increase our caseload even more. I hope one of the benefits of this is that the percentage of those cases that involve jail inmates would get special attention and priority, and so we could hopefully work to improve the jail population. And the 474th, we want to do our part to help with that issue as well. And so I think there are a lot of benefits here for the county to help move the criminal docket along, to help with the jail population. On top of that, the number that Anna gave you here is for the current court reporter salary. I'm going to present a proposal to the district judges that we create a second tier court reporter salary for beginning court reporters. That would be something in 65 to 85 range. And if that is approved, then basically I would be asking for about $20,000 to fund this position for July through September. And we're going to be meeting in May and hopefully take that up as part of the district judges' meeting. So with all those things, I believe that this will benefit the justice system. It will help move those felony cases along, and it will help us to timely handle these cases as they're filed. And so I would ask the commissioners to approve this request.
Judge, if you scaling up like that, is there any other limiting factors besides court reporter that would prevent you from taking on these new cases?
I don't believe so. There is one issue as far as inmates who come out to our courtroom for trial. Judge Mayfield, when they built that courtroom, designed a holding cell, but it does not currently meet jail standards because of communication issues like an electric communication device or something. Anyway, I've been working with TJ and maintenance, and they are in the process of making a proposal to upgrade that facility, that holding cell, so that it complies with jail standards, and so we're working on that right now. We have had several inmates come out to that court for trials, for hearings. We can handle them, but we just don't really have a place to keep them right now, so we're just making do.
So another alternative would be using the visiting courtroom or something like that here?
That could be if needed, but I think we can accommodate it. Right. And
one other question, with technology advancing, and of course with, as you mentioned, the Tyler system and all that, is there some AI products that would do the same thing as a court reporter? And an example, Jessica Addis sitting back here, and she put me on an app called Granola, of all things, and I've used it on multiple meetings, and it's very accurate and all that, but I don't know in the judicial side whether that applies or not.
so what I can tell you is the statutes and rules right now do not allow for that.
Okay.
But I can also tell you this, OCA, the Office of Court Administration, recently sent out a survey to judges asking about using that type of technology in the future.
Yeah.
So OCA is exploring that, they're investigating that, but, you know, until the legislature is back in session, until there are proposals in place,
Right.
there's nothing that really allows for that.
Yeah.
So.
And I would imagine Tyler, being cutting edge, would learn or provide or at least discover new ways to do that. So
I'm sure they would.
yeah. Okay. Other questions?
No question, just comment. I definitely support something that'll move cases forward. And I think if this is, and Judge, we've discussed this before, the importance of that. Between 24 and 25, as Anna pointed out, there was a 36% increase in criminal cases filed in McLennan County, and the trend seems to be continuing upward. And then I know Judge Kelly's going to speak to us here in a minute. I'll save my next question for you, Judge. And but I know that total cases on the docket are up like 11% over the 24 to 25 and continuing upward. So I think we've got to do something to dispose these cases and move them forward. And if this is what it takes, then it's what we need to do.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of y'all picking up criminal cases. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Major Ives, what's it costing us to keep these felonies in the jail there? How many felonies do we have fixing to come up or can come up?
So felony mandates account for about 85% of our mandates in custody.
Wow, that's lots of money.
And that's at $85 a day minimum?
83.
Minimum and going up?
Today, that's what it is. It's going to change very soon.
I'm sure.
So that's about, is that about 800 that are, is that right?
80%.
How many?
80%, you say?
85% of our local population.
Of about 1,400, of
About 1,400?
About 1,400.
Well, some of those
Well, but not all those are not local, yeah, out of the 1,400.
200 to 250 on a like rotating average are going to be your federal inmates, so you have to take that on top.
Okay.
Still, it's out of 1,200 inmates, 85% of them are felons. So we got to get the felonies rolling.
We've got it, yeah.
Why have we seen this increase? I mean, is there more crimes being committed, more felonies being committed, more?
I think that's a difficult question to answer. I think there's a combination of things because it seems like some of the crime numbers that we've seen
Right.
have been kind of steady or even declining in some areas. I think part of it is charging decisions in the district attorney's office, and they control that, what they choose to indict or not indict. But beyond that, I can't speak to why those numbers are going up, but
You know,
but the 474th stands ready to help address those numbers.
We appreciate that.
We do definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, and I would just say that whenever the district judges meet, if there's anything we can do to help or bring resources, I know Major Ives has a lot of numbers and data regarding that as well, and anything we can do to help provide information for y'all, we'd be more than happy to do that.
Anna, is it going to be hard to find somebody for that 65,000 or 85,000 range to start out as a reporter? Or?
So to be fair, I have identified a candidate.
Oh, okay. Like that.
Who would work for that rate. So,
Okay.
she actually has just completed her certification, and she actually did training in my courtroom as part of that process, and so we're already familiar with each other, and so
Sure.
the answer to that is yes.
Great.
I will say, she's what's called a mask writer. So there's court reporters that just use the machine. There's mask writers that speak, and they do the same thing, but in different ways. And judges have real preferences about whether they have a mask writer or not, and so that's part of the issue in having difficulty finding court reporters. Judge Menard hired my first court reporter before I was even selected, and she's a mask writer, and I was a little nervous about that, but it has really worked out well, and I've seen that she is very capable and doing a great job for us, and so I didn't really have any hesitation with accepting another person in that manner.
Okay.
Well, if a person's identified, but you're saying it's going to be till July before she can come on board, is there a reason why that lag of time?
She's on maternity leave right now.
Okay, that would explain it. Definitely a good
Are you
answer.
trying to break up a family?
No. I'm trying to expedite justice, but I
I
understand.
know, I got you, I
I
got you.
think that went on record.
That's okay. That's all
All
right.
right, I make a motion,
remember.
excuse me, anybody, I make a motion, we support the request.
Second.
Motion made, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
Thank you all very much.
I'd like to go to E3C on the 54th District Court. I know Judge Kelly needs to, she's dressed and ready to go to court, so,
I wouldn't have worn my robe, but I had it on before, then I'm going to jump back up and get back on the bench. So thank you for squeezing me in.
you're welcome.
So the 54th District Court, Judge Kelly is requesting the creation of a part-time attorney position. The position would support legal research related to her docket on complex issues involving pending trial litigation, and also create a searchable database of court conclusions to ensure consistency in decisions. So again, citing the same influx in criminal cases filed as in the previous request. So the past 2 years has seen increases in cases filed, also increasing, of course, the docket, the resulting docket. The hourly rate being requested is $90 per hour. At most, the position would work 10 hours per week on this part-time basis. Due to vacancies in that office, it likely would not impact the current year's budget, but we put the estimated amount should the position continue into the next fiscal year of 2027. And so that request, it would be an estimated $46,800. And do you have anything to add, Judge Keller?
I can add a little bit, and it really ties nicely with what Judge Bennett just said. You know, there's this increase. We all know that for many, many years, the 54th District Court handled really all the criminal cases. Then Judge Strother started picking up, and everybody pitched in. I remember because I started here in '86. Yeah, I know. But anyway, now we're just so fortunate, and I'm so grateful that Judge Bennett is willing, and he has been very helpful. In fact, all the judges have been helpful. We just have a really great setup right now. But I brought some, just on my desk this morning are 3 writs of habeas corpus. One is Ibarra, which I didn't even know. He's been waiting he's on the death row. And the DA's office and the defense attorneys sure aren't going to push it. Tommy Witherspoon actually found it, that, oh, it's been pending. And I was like, oh, my goodness. And I met with the lawyers, and they're like, well, it hadn't been a priority. So he's lived a little bit longer. But that came from 1997. I got one yesterday from 1987. I have another one from 2014. These don't have anything to do with my regular docket. These are things that I have to work hard on and draft what's called findings of fact and conclusions of law. And as Judge Bennett mentioned, we have many appeals. And I take that work very seriously. I started at the Court of Appeals as a briefing attorney back in the 80s. And I want the work to be good, and I don't want reversals. And reversals are what costs us money. These defense attorneys, they work hard. They charge a lot of money. It is all related. And so I got spoiled when Georgie Holland was able to work. We have a part-time law clerk that was about $4,000. And she came on board. She'd already graduated from Baylor, but wanted to go to Baylor Law School. And she started filling that role a couple of years ago. And it was amazing how it helped me. Then she got into Baylor. Now she's going to go off and probably make a lot of money. This is not something that she would be interested in. But I do think that there are some newer lawyers that would be interested in about 10 hours a week. It would be commensurate with what the court-appointed attorney's rate is. And there is work to do. And my administrators are wonderful, as you know, but this is research, critical thinking, and it would help me immensely just to have this. I promise you that I wouldn't, it would be flexible, and I wouldn't, abuse it by having someone just sit around and do nothing. There really is work.
It being a part-time position would afford the opportunity to kind of monitor hours closely, and for this kind of first introductory period, and then an assessment of volume and hours needed could be done at budget time during the summer if someone is found for the position.
Yes, it would be task-oriented. I'm not worried about space. They can even sit in my office and work with me. But a lot of it would be assignments that they will go off, research, work, and bring back to me. And I'll know if they spent the time on it. So it would be very, very beneficial, and I'd be very grateful. If you can't, I certainly understand. I'm going to keep at it.
All right, questions?
Judge, we've talked about the increase in caseloads or the cases being filed, but between 24 and 25, there was actually a decrease in cases disposed. Is that because of what you're talking about right here, just complexity of the cases and the enormity of some of them coming through?
It very well could be. It's hard to know. It's hard to know. I mean, I haven't had time to really look at this data, so I'm so grateful that she has it. I don't know. I want to tell you something else I'm not a numbers person. I'm just like what I said, I'm task-oriented, so I know that we're working and we're doing good output, but the OCA is now requiring us to have a clearance rate of 90%, which you go, oh, that doesn't sound bad. Well, when you get 2,000 cases a year, that's a lot of cases that I have to move. The civil courts, it's just a matter of the way it is. They're just not getting as much volume. So it's not apples to apples, but I know last year I was at 80-something%. I think 19th was as well. We are going to get to 90%. I've promised OCA that. But I don't know, why sometimes we move more, but I intend to, I intend to make us proud, and I want the work to be good. I'm not just gonna move cases just to move them.
I definitely think it's worth the trial to see, because I think if the judge decides that that's not the best way to approach it, she would come and tell us. I think we know her and know that's what she would say. But I don't think she'd be here if this wasn't something she felt important and it would help move cases the direction that the court wants it done.
All right. And so I think at some point, maybe 6 months or longer, we'd be interested in hearing how it's all working. If you need to modify or do things like that.
I'll be happy
for
to
the court.
report it.
Okay, good. Appreciate it.
Sure.
All right. What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass. Thank you,
you all
Judge.
very much.
Have a
Back
good
to
day.
work.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, next, Mr. Teetons is in the audience, so let's go to E3B, HR matter for DA's office. Morning, sir.
Good morning.
I'd just like to say, depending on what we've just heard, these guys are working too hard right here.
Yes, sir.
So the district attorney's office is requesting to repurpose an existing part-time hourly appellate attorney position. They currently have that title. It's position 1155. This position was requested back in 2024. It was never filled just due to a lack of qualified applicants. An appellate level attorney is a higher complexity position. But there is still a need to assist the office in a different way, and so they want more flexibility with this part-time position. And so we just want to retitle it, rather than appellate attorney, call it an hourly attorney. There's a reduction in pay rate, because it wouldn't be an appellate attorney. It's $90 per hour, but there's estimates that, the rate might even be lower than that for an introductory time frame for a newer employee. There is a current part-time budget that can fund this, but likely would need an amendment as the year progresses. Total amount for a full year would be approximately $46,800 in increase. So a total part-time budget of about $70,800 for the next fiscal year. And the intent for this current, more flexible position at the moment is to tackle intake, and so that's categorizing cases as they come in to the appropriate division that they need to be assigned to.
So I can answer any questions, of course, y'all will have, but to kind of piggyback on what Judge Bennett talked about, he and I have been in conversations about increasing cases moving over to his court. He also was questioned, I think, by Commissioner Jones about the jail population and charging decisions in particular. Like him, we too have a candidate in mind, a retired attorney that is offered to come and give us some assistance in that intake department so that we can move those cases more expeditiously and then potentially free up somebody to then go to the trial court. This would not be somebody that would be in the courtroom. This would be a behind-the-scenes person with experience that can, again, efficiently review those cases and hopefully move them along a little bit quicker. In addition, as far as the money goes, we have a member of our team that is also deployed currently, and so there's some of those funds that we think we might be able to utilize in working again with HR and the auditor's office through that process.
Questions?
Yeah, Anna, we're going to eliminate the full-time temporary ADA 1 position approved in January. Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
That's correct.
Mhm.
And we're going to repurpose a part-time hourly appellate attorney position to
Yes.
this position. And so the difference between the salary of the full-time temporary ADA 1 and this position is how much then total?
The difference.
We're eliminating that salary, so what was that salary?
So I don't know the exact number that was approved for, I know it was lower than $100,000 salary for the full-time temporary position. And so I don't know what the offset would be exactly.
Well, this would almost be a wash, it seems like to me.
And well, either one was going to be a likely wash just because of the vacancy that,
Yeah.
that is mentioned. And then that vacancy actually is expected to continue into some of the next fiscal year, not the entire fiscal year. So even the full amount I'm quoting, again, when I quote a number, it's usually worst case, if all positions are filled, this is the amount that could be expected, but there is a very strong possibility that that entire amount is not needed.
Well, I wasn't here back in '24, but what is full-time temporary? That's kind of oxymoron.
They're working 40 hours.
I mean, temporary, I mean, that's
Right,
not
it
why you
was-
couldn't get nobody to apply because it was temporary?
Well-
It's titled temporary, or?
Yes and no. That was a position, again, that we were in great need of an appellate attorney at the time. There was somebody that had planned to move and be here temporarily.
Okay.
And then they ended up not moving here. And so that did kind of shoot us in the foot, I do think, a little bit, just from a business perspective,
Yeah, gotcha.
finding somebody else, and there's been 0 applicants since that one. But to answer your question, Commissioner Smith, it does essentially work out to be a wash.
It seems
It
like
should.
In my mind, it kind of does.
Yes, sir.
So, seems like to me that the sheriff's office is doing their job, they're arresting them, the DA's doing their job, and now we're setting up to try to get them pushed on through the legal system, and that's, to me, our goal.
Yeah. Okay.
You gotta get them out of
I
that
just
jail.
like to remind everybody that we've spent about $250,000 just right here this morning.
That's a concern. It is.
Okay, any other questions? All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
I'll second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, is there another pool, E6D1? Is that still a?
There he is.
And Judge, it needs to be deferred.
Okay, I make a motion we defer
Second.
E6D1. And we have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
And Judge, if you want to go ahead and approve the consent agenda, then that takes care of all the pools.
All right, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of the pools already handled?
So moved.
Second?
Have motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Okay, going to item G1, authorization of road use agreement with L1. And there's a representative here from that. Okay, if you'll come forward, sir.
What is that under, Judge?
That's under G1.
G1, thank you.
Jimmy Delgado, is that you? All right.
Hey.
You look like him. I thought it was.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? All right, I think this is a road use agreement. This particular one,
This is.
one out of precinct 3.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
yeah, at about 100-acre tract of battery
Battery
storage
storage.
at the corner of Snyder Road and Old South Check Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we worked with Jimmy and L1.
Is that right?
To come up with a plan where we can get their heavy equipment on some less traveled roads. And I think everybody is good with the plan.
And there's ongoing maintenance, like during the construction, if their road be, if it get bad? Did they-
Right, right. and
So
that-
would
yeah,
you,
right,
you
there's,
fix it and they pay for it, or would they have a third party in there?
either, it kind of just depends upon what,
Okay.
what it is
Yeah.
per se, so,
There's a bond, Judge,
Yeah.
that gets
so
replenished.
that, yeah.
In case they don't do the work, we can take it from the bond and they will have to replenish the bond.
Okay. Well, we have some other issues with road use agreement, so I want to be sure that's clear. And then, pardon me?
And so, based on the issues we've had in the past, that's why I sort of wanted to
Yeah.
tap the brakes last court session and make sure that everybody was on the same page.
Right.
So-
And y'all have other,
And I believe everybody, so
Okay.
I believe everybody is.
okay. And then there's other projects y'all are involved in that, fix and start building out, I guess, off of, Elk Road.
Yeah, Cibeles project, yeah, we haven't started construction on that one, but we already signed the road use agreement.
Right.
Yeah, we plan to start maybe 3-4 months from now, but yeah.
That's when you'll start.
Yeah, when we start the construction in the Elk Road, the other project that you were mentioning, yeah.
Okay.
But we haven't started that one.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we're about 6 months away from
Yeah, Neutron project, yes.
Okay.
construction on that one.
Okay. All right. Any questions anyone have?
I know that Commissioner Jones is gonna, take care of his precinct, and so if he's satisfied with it, engineering is, I have no problem.
Okay. All right. What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the road use agreement with Elawan Neutron Storage LLC.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Thank you.
Thanks, Judge. Thank Commissioner.
Thanks, sir.
All right, go to G6, authorization of amendment number 9 to the inmate telephone service agreement with Global Tel-Link Corporation, DBA Vipath Technologies. Sheriff? Morning. Long time no see.
I know, it's been a while.
So we're presenting a re-up on this agreement. There's been some significant changes to it because of the Martha Wright Reed Fair Communication Cost Act of 2022. The FC has pushed that legislation to us, and we have been working to try to come up with the best option that we can for the county continuing these services with ViaPath GTL. That's what you see before you. There'll be some additional changes to that. We're going to receive additional technician support on site, so that's one of the great options that ViaPath provides for the jail. We have people that are assigned to our facility. They, quote, live in our facility, so to speak, work on our stuff, fix our tablets, keep our systems operational so we don't have to call tech support and wait for a response. And that has been a huge increase in not just availability to the services, but just not having that downtime in between as well. The rates are certainly changing as per what the FCC is requiring. And if y'all have any questions about that, one other change that we're making is we are making the transition to going one-to-one on our tablets in the jail. That would take some time, granted, to implement that and roll that out, but that will also affect the usage. We would expect it to go up. So, and then I have Cheryl White with me, our representative for ViaPath GTL. If y'all have any questions that I can't field, or if you just want to talk to her.
Any questions?
David, are there, what are we talking about, costs associated, or was there revenue associated with this that's going to be decreased, or what happens?
Yes, the answer to that is yes.
Yes, yeah, yes. Which one?
Address that?
Go right ahead.
I can address that in, back in, this has happened 3 times with the FCC. In 2016, they, according to the Martha Wright Act, they reduced the inmate call rates on the telephones. Okay, then in 2016, they came back once again because they've always set them as interim rates, not permanent rates, so they could come back and do it again. So in 16, they reduced them once again. They came back then again in 2024, and they reduced the rates. And in 24, what they also did was they not only reduced the rates for the inmate telephones, but also the video visitation rates. And the major impact to our customers was the fact that they prohibited the payment of commissions or site commissions to you. And in addition to that, we couldn't even provide you what they considered in-kind commissions. And in-kind commissions are things like your call detail reports, your call storage, the education, the religion that we put on those tablets and provide to you free of charge. The National Sheriff's Association fought it. Several of us vendors went and fought it. And late last year, they finalized another order that allowed us, number one, they're not going to allow the site commissions on the inmate telephones or the video visitation. That still holds. However, they will allow a 2-cent, it's called a facility cost rate additive. And so basically what you'll get is 2 cents per minute for, would be, right? 2 cents per minute for your inmate telephone calls and for the video visitation. Now, they also reduced the rates on the video visitation from 25 cents per minute to 19 cents per minute. And then your rates on the inmate telephones from 16 cents a minute to 10 cents a minute. And 2 cents of each of those go to you. Okay? They have not touched the tablet commissions. So what we did was last year when they said we couldn't do any kind of in-kind commissions, since they weren't touching the tablet revenues or commissions, we actually moved a lot of those services because you can do phone calls on the tablets. We actually moved those functions to our tablet services so we could continue to provide them, number one, at no cost, unlike other vendors that actually went out and billed their customers like $40,000 for services. We moved them under our tablet services. So we were able to continue to provide that. We are giving you an additional technician, so you'll have 2 technicians who will be able to support the, especially the tablets out there. And we are moving you to our newest tablet version and a 1-to-1. You're at 4-to-1 right now. We're moving you to a 1-to-1 tablet ratio, which will hopefully stimulate usage and stimulate revenues. Because basically you're looking at a 50% reduction in commissions that you're currently getting. And the rates actually went into effect April 6th based on the mandate. Yes, sir.
So then 50% reduction, how does that translate into dollars, David?
I knew you'd ask.
Okay.
It's substantial. Yeah. So
I love that word, substantial.
Yeah, as of September of '25, annualized, you were getting approximately $884,000.
So basically cut that in half.
And now you're going to get about $447,000. We're going to spend about almost $500,000 ourselves to upgrade your tablet system. If any of the phones need upgrading, of course, when we're doing that, we also take care of that.
GTL also has their own dedicated fiber line that runs to our jail, so increased network traffic, of course, does not impact jail operations. That is one of many infrastructure improvements that ViaPath GTL has made on our facility over the years. Infrastructure, IT network, phone systems, wireless APs, all that stuff. It's all been a good relationship for the jail because those are things that are ours.
Yeah, well, when you built the new jail many years ago, not too long ago, but we actually ran a fiber cable between the old jail and the new jail, and then we let y'all have some of the pairs.
Forward thinking.
As well, yes, definitely.
Very much so. Well, another good example of Big Brother taking care of us.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
And the bad thing about it is they are interim rates. so they can come back again and hit us again with it, so.
So what are we needing here then, a ratification of this agreement or approval of the agreement? Which way is it?
Need a motion to approve that amendment.
Motion to
with,
approve it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'd just like to say, GTL's been a really good partner.
Yeah.
Throughout the, how long now it's gonna be?
Since, it's been a long time.
Longer than any
I
of
mean,
us.
probably 15 years, maybe longer.
All right, any other questions or comments? Not what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the amendment with Via Path Technologies.
Second.
Have a motion, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass. Thank you. Good to
Thank
see
you, gentlemen.
Thank you,
Have a blessed day.
Thank you, David.
All right, let's go to item G13. It's the authorization of agreement with Mundo and Associates. This is a grant implementation services for the Texas Parks and Wildlife Grant. We have a representative there.
And Judge, I believe we have Jason Mundo online, but I'll go ahead and introduce this. So this would be
Online.
the agreement.
He's on.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Jason, I'll introduce, then I'll turn it over to you if that's okay.
Sounds good.
So this is the agreement with Mundo for the planning, engineering, and design of the recreation improvements for the Trading House Lake Park project. Their professional services are in the amount of $118,186, which that's the same amount that is listed in the budget for the grant that is being awarded to the county. So Jason, anything you would like to add?
Yes, greetings, Judge, Commissioners Court, and staff. Excited to be here and thankful to be here this morning. Thankful for the rain at Trading House Lake this morning. And also thank you for considering our contract for professional services at Trading House Lake Park. And this is in specifically the areas Park 1A and 1B at the intersection of Hall and Summerfeld Road. Our professional services, which are shown in Exhibit C on our contract, are a fixed 12% of the total estimated construction cost, which is a requirement of the grant, and the grant actually autofills that in for you. So it is a fixed 12%. And the professional services include not just the planning, engineering, and design, but if any additional services, professional services are needed, such as surveying or archaeological or any historical coordination, those fees would come out of that same amount, that same $118,000. So that's just like total professional service fee there, and we would facilitate those additional services. Those would be facilitated by Mundo. So we are excited to work with you on this project that was awarded by Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Any questions?
No questions, just a comment. First of all, Jason, thank you very much for providing us with this. Look forward to it happening,
Yes,
to
sir.
fruition of it. I know that we talk about the planning, engineering, and design, and it being presented in a timely manner. I would like to see your office and TJ and perhaps Judge's office come up with some milestones or benchmarks so that certain things are done, so that we don't push construction so close to the end of that grant period. Does that make sense? So that we
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it does. And thank you for that comment. That is an excellent point. Generally speaking, there's 3 phases going forward. There's this, call it professional services, planning, engineering phase, which includes any permitting, followed by, and part of that is the construction bidding and preparation of the construction bidding documents. And then that's followed by a construction phase, if you want to think of that as like phase 2, and then followed by a closeout phase where any inspections by Parks and Wildlife, as well as any inspections by like the accessibility people at the state, would be done during that phase. So, and basically in easy math, it's like you're looking at like a year for the design, planning, permitting, construction bid documents, followed by a year of construction, and then about 6 months or so for that closeout phase for any inspections. That would be like 2.5 years. This grant gives us a total 4 years. So we will be pushing as hard as possible so as not to go up against that deadline as you stated. But I like your idea, and we will definitely put together a plan working with TJ so that you have something that we can follow with milestones.
I appreciate that, Jason. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other questions? All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Make a motion.
Second that motion.
All right, I have a motion and a second to move forward. If there's no other questions, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
All right. Okay, Dustin, have you contacted Judge Swanton or Amy?
I let them know that they were just a couple items away. So if we want to, do you want to go ahead and do the LPPF item first, Judge?
Yeah, thank you.
So that is under M3s regarding the McLennan County Local Provider Participation Fund, LPPF. M3B is acknowledgement of the update to the net patient revenue assessment base for the McLennan County Local Provider Participation Fund to use the most current information published by the American Hospital Association and adjust each entity's FY26 payment. So I'd like to call on Justin Flores and Michael Neal from AHCB.
All right, and we have Heather Travers as well at the microphone.
We want to start with M3B.
Yeah, that'd be good.
You're familiar with these fellas. You don't need an introduction.
Well, just for the sake of court record, I'm Justin Flores from AHCV. We work on behalf of the private hospitals for the LPPF. I know that we're doing something a little new. I'll kind of give you a brief overview of it, and then if you guys have any questions, you can ask them. But essentially, for the first time in McLennan County, we are asking you guys to consider updating the net patient revenue figures to be based off of the most current AHA survey that was published. When we came here and requested you guys set a 6% rate back in October, I believe it was, the net patient revenues that we had available to us was the 2023 AHA survey, and now that 2024 has been published, we are essentially just requesting that the basis for the rate to be updated, which inherently, if the net patient revenue figures go up, the assessments that the hospitals are invoiced then just increases, or it can decrease depending on how that happens. But for all intents and purposes, as it relates to what's going on from 2023 to 2024 for McLennan County hospitals, all hospitals have an increase in net patient revenue. We've done this on behalf of our client hospitals in multiple other jurisdictions: Bell County, Williamson County, Dallas County Hospital District has done this on behalf of the hospitals in Dallas County. We did this in a real big way last year prior to the enactment of the Big Beautiful Bill, and we didn't get over here last year, but we are looking to request that you guys approve it, or not really approve it, but consider this.
Yeah, my name is Michael Neal. I work with Justin at HCV, and on behalf of the hospitals, we do want to say thank you for your support of the LPPF program. It is critical for making sure that the hospitals have access to those federal dollars that have been allotted to the state of Texas and McLennan County and those areas to keep the local hospitals here thriving, make sure that they have the resources to continue serving all aspects of your population, recruit doctors, physicians. So we do appreciate your support of this program. And as Justin said, this is just to update to use the most currently available revenue figures from the hospitals here. I'm not an accountant myself, so when I got into space, I had to figure out why is it in 2026 we're looking at 2023 and 2024 data. And Justin was able to explain that to me back in the day, and you all probably know this, but it has to be heavily audited, heavily regulated data, and so it takes a while for the auditors and the state and everybody to do that look back to make sure that, yes, this is the correct revenue patient figures, and so, but yes, we appreciate your support of this program and respectfully request that you consider the most updated data for for these hospital payments. Thank you.
All right, yeah, any questions anyone would have?
Right. In layman's terms, what I understand is we're going to change the base year and charge the hospitals more for it.
Correct.
So that they, in turn, though, can leverage additional federal dollars.
Correct.
Which hopefully will be more than what the increase is.
Yes.
In the.
Yes, correct.
Structure. Okay.
Correct.
That's right. Okay. All right. And I know that, I think I addressed this last year, and I don't know that I ever really understood for sure or got the answer I was maybe looking for. But the dollars that we assess to the hospitals in McLennan County, they leverage X number of dollars federally.
Correct.
Do we know if all of those federal dollars leveraged because of what we do here stay in this county, or do they go elsewhere?
I will say that that has been a question that this court has presented before, and I know that's something that we actually did an analysis on this past year about what this actually looked like for McLennan County, and in prior years, there were dollars that that the systems within McLennan County, specifically Baylor Scott and White and Ascension, Oceans, and oh my goodness, the other hospital, Oceans and
Encompass.
Encompass are newer to the program, so they're still kind of getting their feet under them on that one. But Ascension and Baylor, with their ability to leverage these dollars, if you will, gives access to those entities that they have that do not participate in LPPFs for compliance reasons. Maybe the entity can't participate in an LPPF because it's the only hospital in a county, for example. And so in the past, there has been the proclivity for Ascension and Baylor to utilize these funds. I'll say that in FY25, so federal fiscal year 25, we looked back and we said how much money actually stayed in the county for Providence and for Hillcrest and for Oceans and Encompass, and we measured that to be roughly $80 million for FY25, so definitely more than what the hospitals were invoiced via the LPPF and via the county. I think if we look at federal fiscal year 26, which started 10/1/25, and to current, I think it's sitting around 40 million that the hospitals have returned specifically to Hillcrest and to Providence. And so I think that has something that that has increased. This area specifically has seen an increase in the uninsured population, has seen increases in Medicaid beneficiaries, which has required more money stay here. And I think that that's something that I think that everyone's grateful for. And I know that just in the past, it's operated a little differently, for sure.
Could you put a percentage on that stays here?
I think
Really stay here, it comes back. I think
It comes back,
Comes
yeah.
back, yeah.
But comes back as a result of what we assess the hospitals.
So, I'll let you answer. That's beyond mine. I can't, my math skills.
a percentage of how much money as
Is it
of
like a
federal
is it
dollars.
like $1.25 or $1.50?
Oh, you're asking. Yeah. So the FMAP, I know
Which
that's something that is,
Yeah,
it's the federal match assistance percentage. Right now, that's sitting at roughly 60%. It's a little bit lower than 60%. And so, yeah, there's about 1.5, if you will, 1.5x on the dollars that are assessed. Now, like I 80 million, I said, is in FY25 stayed in McLennan County. I think that overall of everything that ended up being received by entities, I think the number was somewhere in like the $90 million range. So maybe 10 million went to affiliates of Ascension and Baylor Scott and White. And that's, again, something that we'd like to think about when we talk about affiliate dollars, if you will. And I know that that's something that we don't really like to discuss, but really, in the grand scheme of things, if Ascension and Baylor and Encompass and Oceans, if it's something that would benefit them as a system, then that would essentially in turn assist their local hospitals with continuing to provide the lowest cost of care. Because if that's something that maybe couldn't continue, then what you could see, right, is an increase in cost of care. And while that may not, in the grand scheme of things, affect the Medicaid and uninsured populations, it's going to affect those that are not, if that makes sense, which would likely be most of us in this room. And so,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, no, it's a fuzzy regulatory area that we do our best to navigate. And so, do you guys have any other questions? I know that this
There's
is,
a column on here that says rebase.
that's what.
Assessment amount?
Yeah, and so,
What is a
yeah,
rebase?
what the rebase is what we are asking you guys to do, and it's essentially the incremental difference of what was originally assessed on the hospitals for the 23 AHA survey and what would have been assessed under the 2024 AHA survey. So if you just multiply the 6% times 24 and you take away the 6% minus the 23, that's the difference.
So it's not changing the annual rate that y'all set last October.
Yeah, the rate
That
stays the
percent-
same.
That percentage stays the same. This is, when we say rebase, we're saying, what's their baseline that percentage is on? Is it on the 23 data that's now outdated, or using the current, most recently audited 2024 data off that rate that you guys set last October?
And then we're just invoicing the difference.
Is this going to be retroactive back, or is this from a date forward that's going to happen? Are you going to
I
go
think
back?
that's something that we're working on with the tax office to ensure that this just gets done in the most efficient way, how it's been done in other jurisdictions. It is for the time period from 10/1/25 through 9/30/26. So in a sense, yes, it's a retroactive thing, but at the same time, in a way to make things as efficient as we can. I think we have advised other jurisdictions, and I think McLennan County is taking the same position of just issuing an additional invoice for the delta.
And it's for the current state fiscal year.
Yeah.
So we're just going to have a fifth invoice process.
So Judge, right now, all we're discussing is the M3B right now. We're not throwing in M3A right now, are we, or not, Heather?
We can.
Yeah.
M3A and M3C require approval. I think M3B
Right.
just was for recording purposes mostly and to inform the court.
Yeah,
So would you like to move to M3A?
yes.
Okay. So this is an IGT request for the HARP 2026 second half. The amount requested for this IGT is $815,883.51. We have a due date of Wednesday, April 29th, a settlement date of Thursday, April 30th, and we're requesting the IGT up to the balance in the LPPF on the date of that transfer. M3C is for the Atlas 2026 program, first payment, with a due date of Thursday, April 30th, 2026, settlement date of Friday, May 1st. We do not have the exact amount on that, so we're requesting to approve up to the balance in the LPPF on the date of transfer.
Okay,
Motion to approve the balance of the, for M3A, motion to approve up to the balance in the LPPF account on the day of the IGT. That's would be my motion.
All right, I'll second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, pass.
Then on motion to record, motion for recording purposes on M3B, the report, the 2026 rebase recommendation.
All right.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
And then M3C.
M3C, motion to approve up to the balance in the LPPF account on the day of the IGT.
Second.
My motion.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Thanks, Justin
Thank
and
y'all.
Michael.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Always.
Appreciate it.
We'll be back, I believe, in the fall for the annual, to set next year. Thank you, appreciate your time and your support.
I'll try not to ask that question again, all right?
Okay.
Judge, we have Judge Swanton and Amy. Sorry, Judge, go ahead.
No, that's what I was fixing to say, so good. So that is item, K2 and L1.
K2 and L1. Okay.
All right. Good morning. Good morning, folks.
Good morning.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning.
Proceed.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Judges, you know, we have submitted a memorandum to you in a Commissioners Court requesting allowance for us to develop a social media presence. As the court knows, there are a number of different county departments that have a social media site and presence to advertise kind of what they're doing for the county. We're requesting that we be allowed to develop that same kind of presence to show the public what the specialty courts are all about, to stay in touch with graduates from the specialty court, to provide notices about graduation ceremonies, successes we're having with various participants in the treatment court process, thinking that it would be a good way to reach out to the community, to let McLennan County taxpayers know the success in these kinds of treatment courts. We have, I say we, Amy has, touched base with David Eyes and Heather. They've been very helpful in kind of giving us some tips about the potential development of a site like this or a presence like this. We certainly would intend to comply with all the confidentiality issues that the county would require in the development of that kind of presence. But we think overall it would be helpful to provide a little more education to the community about what our specialty courts do and brag on ourselves, Judge, and talk about the participants who are doing so well in these kind of courts. We also think it would help us stay in touch with the graduates of the program and developing a larger alumni base program that we're also kind of working on at this time. So we would ask the court to consider allowing us to do that in our department.
All right, any questions?
And that's working with IT, correctly?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, I have motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Thank you very much. Judge, the next item I'm going to let Amy primarily deal with, as you spoke earlier, Judge, about making sausage. Amy is our sausage maker, certainly when it comes to grant funding. As the court's aware, in large part, our specialty courts are totally funded, almost totally funded by grants. Amy works very, very diligently in ferreting out various grants that are available across the country and in the state. And she wanted to talk to you this morning about a BGA grant that's available for Veterans Treatment Court. So I'll let her talk about that specifically.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
All right, before you, I'm still working on this, but we have a BJA, Bureau of Justice Administration grant that's due May the 4th for Veterans Treatment Court. Our current grant is ending September 30th. That grant was for 48 months, and we have that for $750,000. So this new grant would be for another 48 months. And that grant award that we are requesting is for $971,216.17. That grant would be for personnel, for salary fringe, for 2 positions, for 50% FTE for myself, and for a probation officer that works 100% for the Veterans Treatment Court, as well as supplies. We have a doctoral intern that works with our program, and then we also pay for monitoring devices for participants in our program. We also currently did have a grant with the, who was it with, Judge? For transition.
Oh, with the State Bar.
Yes, with the State Bar. That did end, so we are able to put the transitional recovery housing into this grant, which is the increase this year. And then also we are requesting a dedicated defense attorney that works with our program for that to be in this grant. So that would not cost the county anything. So this is a very competitive grant. It was a competitive grant last time. There are only going to be 12 nationwide that are awarded for this specific funding source. But again, it was very competitive last time and we did receive it. So hopefully we will have the luck again this time. So if that is the court's pleasure, we are requesting permission to apply for this grant again for this grant cycle.
All right, any questions anyone have? Sounds like a challenge.
Yeah.
All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. All right, thank y'all.
Thank you, Judge and Commissioners. We appreciate it.
You bet. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Dustin?
Yes, sir. I know we've done a lot of skipping around, but if we could go to item G2, this is authorization of contract for services renewal with Greater Waco Collective Impact Initiative, doing business as Prosper Waco. We have Jessica Addis with us. I'll introduce this quickly. So this is the renewal of the service agreement with Prosper Waco for the behavioral health leadership team. It totals $200,000. This would extend that agreement for an additional year through the end of February 2027. I know a lot of good work has came out of this program that Judge or Jessica may want to share, but we do pay for the majority of this comes from the opioid settlement funds. Currently, there's about $80,000 in that fund. So as this year progresses and as additional payments come in, as additional settlements come in, those can be classed to be able to pay for this. And then if we're short at the end of the year, we would have to come to court for a budget amendment. So Francis, anything you want to add on that?
No, I think you touched on all the details of that, but like you said, at year end, if we did need to reclass part of that expense, if you approve it, and it need to move over to general fund, but we have been fortunate that each year has pretty much been able to cover out of opioid, so it'll just depend on the revenue we receive before September 30th.
Okay, thank you. So Jessica, Judge, anything y'all would like to add?
Jessica?
Yeah, thank you, Judge, Commissioners, Dustin, staff. Thank you all for the opportunity to join you. I'll just would love to give a quick update on the behavioral health leadership team and this investment. This last 12 months has really marked a turning point for us, I would say, from moving to planning and to action. That has really been helped by the Rider 58 funding. I think most of you all know, but for the minutes and for the public, the Rider 58 dollars was funding that we advocated for in the last legislative session with outstanding support from State Representative Pat Curry as well as Representative Angela Orr. Our community received $5 million in state discretionary funding. It's a huge win for us. And it's been an ask that we have been asking for the last 4 legislative sessions. And this year we were really proud to support it and to help bring those dollars in, again, with tremendous support on the legislative side. What's especially exciting is that spending was not pre-prescribed. So it's allowed our behavioral health leadership team steering committee, on which Judge Shelton sits, to identify our most pressing gaps and invest then in strategic priorities to strengthen the system. And we're already seeing early progress. School-based mental health services are now active in Waco ISD middle schools, serving students right where they are. We've also launched a coordinated jail reentry model for individuals with high needs, including developing a partnership with the Waco Family Medicine Street Medicine team to further align providers with law enforcement. Anecdotally, Major Ives shared in a recent meeting that they have already seen the recidivism impacted of 2 particular inmates who are on a cycle of coming in and out, and now being connected with the appropriate care. Mm-hmm. They've exited the system and have not come back in. Further, through that state funding, we've expanded inpatient psychiatric bed capacity, which has already seen strong use. By the end of this summer, we expect to stand up a multidisciplinary response team, which will pair a clinician, a paramedic, and a public safety officer together to respond to high acuity behavioral health crises, connecting residents in crisis to resources and the right level of care, and keeping law enforcement from spending hours on behavioral health calls and interventions so they can stay focused on core public safety responsibilities. At the same time, we're building something that's really equally, if not more important, but a shared data system across healthcare, law enforcement, and community partners to track outcomes and improve alignment with how the system works over time. We've also been focusing heavily on crisis response, developing clear, practical tools to help both families and professionals navigate behavioral health crises in real time. We've also advanced an Opportunity Youth Re-Engagement Center, which was the result of a convening. We brought together county officials, Waco PD, and BHN to pursue a state mental health construction facilities grant. BHN was successful in securing that funding, and we are now developing a standalone re-engagement site that will help reconnect young people to education, workforce, and support services. At the request of Judge Swanton, we've convened law enforcement and long-term care, as well as skilled nursing facility staff to help improve coordination and provide staff training on de-escalation, recognizing that many of these situations involve vulnerable elderly people who need care, not a criminal justice response. There's still work to do, especially around substance abuse, treatment and capacity, and access to 24/7 services. But overall, we're really starting to see real systems change take shape. We're really grateful for the county's support and leadership in making this work possible, and excited to hopefully continue the work and continue to see progress in strengthening a strong and connected behavioral health system.
It's amazing what you can do when you put everybody in the same room and start talking about the best ways to make programs work together. And the warm handoff between the jail and Waco Family Medicine is proven to be successful. Sure. And so ideally, we'll monitor that and keep track of it so we can report back on the effectiveness of that particular part of it. There's many other things that work in that regard as well. So any questions for Jessica?
No question, comment, Judge and Jessica. One thing that I know we've discussed in the past, and I was thinking we discussed it maybe in your presence, was the perception and maybe the need to come up with a list of agencies who seem to duplicate services, profits and nonprofits, with the idea that maybe at some point some of those could be merged and not be so many people out there perhaps tripping over each other trying to perform the same services for individuals. Is that a possibility that y'all could look at to come up? And I know it changes daily probably or yearly, but there seems to be a perception there's a lot of people trying to do the same thing for the same group of people.
Yeah, I think that's certainly something that we could explore. I think it would probably be helpful to know if you're interested in entities who have received funding from the county and from the city exclusively, or just other community partners. I think that work could be expedited if you had a list of funded entities. We could certainly convene people. I mean, that is our strength, is bringing people together. So if that's something that you all are interested in, is bringing people together and just mapping it out, I think that's certainly something that we could explore together. It would be helpful to have with further direction from the court so that it's useful and insightful for you.
Yeah, I think that question has come up with us a lot.
On different things.
Yeah.
I think one actually, in this particular case, we actually are seeing where there's entities that are doing mainly different things, but all with the same goal in mind, but there's that lack of collaboration, not intentional, but, and that's the purpose of what we're trying to do with the behavioral health leadership team that includes hospital, jail, judicial, and the foundations that provide a lot of support into this. It's private money that comes in, but I think on all these things, we look at that, and we've talked about it for a couple of years. So.
And I would just submit, I'm remembering when before Chris Lancaster stepped into his role, we had Charles Williams, and Charles was really excited, as was Commissioner Miller, about our work in the hunger and food insecurity space. And he said, what I really love about this is that there are lots of entities who ask us for work to support food insecurity and hunger. And he said, I'm happy it doesn't need to only go to Prosper Waco. I certainly would never advocate that either. He said, but what we can do as a funder is encourage them, yes, and we expect you to participate in setting common goals, sharing your data, tracking, because our work is like a coalition of the willing. So we can invite people to come, but we can only share and report out on what they tell us.
Right.
So we'll just leave that for the court's consideration.
And I would like to point out one thing that Jessica did mention on Rider 58. I would say that the reason why we were successful this time is because of the passion that Pat Curry has to bring outside money in to match up with what we have, along with private money, and get us that $5 million. His plans for getting state and federal money are much grander than $5 million. And so, and Angela Orr was saying that.
Ultimately end up.
So it went to BHN, and then they are through interlocal and intergovernment contracts and agreements with various funding partners. They're passing through funding for the different initiatives that the BHLT steering committee identified. So the money that's for inpatient psychiatric beds, we have a state allocation of 10 private purchase beds. We're able to add through BHN.
At the
Crisis Center. And
Well, those are for wherever they land.
Statewide, wherever they land.
Wherever they land. So that could be, of course, since DePaul closed, it could be sending people to Cedar Crest. It could be sending them to Oceans if there are beds available. Sometimes there are people in the jail who are waiting to be transferred to Ash or to others, another.
Because that's the most costly.
Absolutely.
That waiting for that bed,
Mm-hmm.
to hand that person off, and it, so the rider is the rider money goes for more, to pay for more of those beds?
Yes, Commissioner, it pays for 2 additional bed days. So we've increased our capacity effectively by 20%. So, and we're seeing really high utilization. When we think, one thing that I failed to include in that is another initiative that we were pursuing at Representative Curry's encouragement was getting a community-wide behavioral health needs assessment. And we have contracted the Meadows Mental Health Policy Institute to conduct that behavioral health needs assessment. They're wrapping that up now. Every community that has been successful in advocating for large amounts of money from this state has been able to point to this really robust data-driven report. So we expect to have that. I actually spoke with Representative Curry last night. We'll have a draft on the legislative priorities within the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then are hoping to bring that draft report to the BHLT steering committee at our May meeting. As Judge said, this is really, we hope just the beginning, and we're really working on accounting for the impact that these dollars have been able to make. There will be funding that contract with Meadows was only for year 1, so that's $250,000 that will be available in year 2. So it will be the decision, and I want to also give credit and acknowledge Ryan Adams at BHN, who has really been collaborative. This is not the first time that BHN has received funding, obviously for the community, but they have really been collaborative, and that this is funding that our community collectively advocated for, asked, and really listening to the priorities of that steering committee and determining where to spend it. So while obviously $250,000 is is not huge, it's not nothing, and that those will be dollars that as we go into the second fiscal year in September, we'll be able to allocate those. So those could potentially, Commissioner Jones, that has been an idea. Is we're already seeing very high utilization of those additional bed days. Maybe that's where we put this $250,000, but that will be a discussion of the steering committee.
Other questions? All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Thank you.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, can we take a break?
I don't need to. All right, let's take a 5-minute recess.
Recording in progress.
To present it to you, record it, and then tell you what's in it.
All right, let's call court back to order.
Very good.
So Dustin? take us up.
Yes, sir. We can move back up to item F. F1 is authorization of quote from EDOC Technologies for child support data extract from legacy system. This also goes along with the budget amendment. So John?
Morning.
Morning.
What this item is we needed some legacy data from the child support system for the district clerk's office. It's a one-time cost for development from EDOC for $7,500. And we would need a budget amendment, which is also included on this agenda. And again, one-time cost that has been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
All right, any questions?
Judge, I would move to approve the request, along with also approving item I1F for the budget amendment part.
Okay, I'll second that. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
G3 is regarding the agreement for services with Millard Real Estate Advisors, authorization of real estate consulting right-of-way acquisition services invoice for Bullhide Creek Road Bridge Project. Amy?
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
This is because we need to acquire some property to move the right-of-way for Bullhide because the creek is impinging upon the roadway. So these are services for Mr. Millard, and we're going to be moving forward to condemnation to get that property.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Thank you.
Thank you.
G4 is authorization of interlocal cooperative agreement with the City of Crawford for road work. This agreement totals $33,652, which the city will pay to the county for the labor, equipment, and material associated with it. And just need a motion to approve that agreement.
So move.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
G5 needs to be pulled with no action.
All right, pull with no action on G5.
Moving down to G7, authorization of engagement letter with Gabriel Roeder Smith and Company, GRS, and North Central Texas Council of Governments for other post-employment benefits and Governmental Accounting Standards Board 75 valuation reports. Francis?
Yes, so like Dustin mentioned, these are the agreements for FY '26 and '27 for our agreement with Gabriel Roeder Smith and Company. So this covers our GASB 75 OPEB actuarial evaluation. So those services have to be done by statute, and then that information is incorporated into our financial statements and the notes to the financial statements annually. This is a $1,025 increase from the prior agreement.
Questions?
Motion to approve the engagement letter.
All right, I'll second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
G8 is authorization of sponsorship agreement with Heart of Texas Council of Governments for 2026-2027 resource guide advertisement for health services. Heather?
Yes, so this is just our annual advertisement in their resource guide. No changes to the price or the image, and it's included in our budget.
And I'll say that guide's real handy. Keep some of those in your office. And so, anyhow, I'll make a motion to approve that expenditure.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Thank you.
G9 is authorization of service quotation and on-site service agreement with Smith's Detection for the X-ray machines. Major Ives?
Yes, this is a renewal for our 3 X-ray machines that we have. Some of these machines are getting outdated, and we're going to have to look at some solutions for that because these contracts are going to continue to go up as these machines continue to age past their usable service lives. So I believe this is about a 7.9% increase over last year. We would recommend it for approval in the interim that we're looking for other options for the upcoming year.
All right, questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
David, you must have drove fast.
Do it? Yeah.
Here, no, it's
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Okay, G10?
G10 is authorization of agreement renewal with Core EMR for electronic medical record software and license for McLennan County Jail. Ken?
Yes, again, as he mentioned, this is for the medical records at the jail. And again, we've been using this company for many years, and the jail would like to continue. There's no change in cost, the monthly fee. I think we have more inmates, so.
Yeah, it fluctuates according to how many inmates we have.
Right, so, anyway, if the court approves, this will renew, and we're running a little bit behind from March 1, 2026 to February 28, 2027.
All right, any questions?
Motion to approve the renewal agreement with Core EMR.
Second.
Motion made second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
G11 is authorization of interlocal cooperative agreement with the city of Leroy for pavement, road, and drainage work. Commissioner Wilson?
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty neat deal because they've asked for us to help with the area where they fill up their fire truck. It gets off the side of the road and it gets stuck in the mud. So we're going to help them with that. And also the little First Street right around town, it's going to be milled and packed. And that's around the park. So the whole county uses some of that park, West folks, all surrounding areas, Elmont, to come to that park. So we're going to do that for them, and their estimated cost is option 1 and option 2 that we have listed here, and they're going to be able to pay that to us.
All right, any questions?
Motion to agree with the agreement with City of Leroy.
Second.
All right, I have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
G12, authorization of wastewater inspection system agreements with Riddell Septic for Road and Bridge Precinct 2. TJ?
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning, TJ.
This is just our yearly agreement with Riddell Septic to take care of the 2 septic systems out at Road and Bridge 2. We've looked it over, recommend it for approval.
All right, I'll make a motion we approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye.
And thank you.
Opposed? Pass.
Moving down to item H, capital improvement and construction projects. H1s regarding Patton Branch Road at Aquila Creek Low Water Crossing Culvert Replacement Project. H1A is authorization of application for payment. Number 5 from Knife River Corporation, and H1B is authorization of application for payment number 6 from Knife River. Amy?
Good morning again.
Morning.
I'd just like to point out I have more items than John Carter.
Good.
It's always my
But
goal.
you better not cost as much as him, though.
Yeah. Oh,
So these are just 2 monthly pay apps. Somehow we didn't get the pay app 5 last month, so Reagan was smart enough to point out to me that when I sent her pay app 6, we were missing one, so thank you for that. So we're done with this project. We may have one more washout to pay out the retainage, but this project's complete.
Any questions?
So is this 1A and 1B is what you're saying, Amy?
Yes.
The request?
Number 5 and number 6.
5 and 6, okay.
So motion to approve H1A and H1B.
Second.
All right, I have a motion second.
Oh, and I just quick, I went out there, this is a huge improvement over, I mean, it's very nice.
Yeah.
I mean, and Knife River did a great job.
They did.
BGE got this thing engineered very quickly, and it's pretty decently busy road, and so good work by everybody.
Good.
Good.
All right, I have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
H2 is regarding Chapel Road Improvement Project. H2A is authorization of professional service invoice from Langerman Engineering, and H2B is authorization of change order number 6 from Kasperian Underground doing business as H&B Contractors. Amy?
Okay, the Langerman is just, I believe that's their last invoice for doing any of the testing out on Chapel Road. And H2B is the final washout for Chapel Road. So we're done with Kasperian except for that emergency pavement repair that they have to come back and do. So
Super.
I will point out that we came in under budget on that project.
Oh,
So
like
giving
that.
Francis some
Yay.
money back.
And then, is there still a plan to have like a ribbon cutting or something on Chapel?
Yes, I wanted to do the pavement repair from the truck accident
Yeah,
first, because I
okay.
thought it would look funny if we
Yeah.
said we're done and cut a ribbon, and then we're back out there chewing up the pavement again.
Yeah,
So as soon
okay.
as that's done, yes.
Okay. All right. Any questions? What's pleasure, court?
Motion to approve H2A and H2B.
Second.
All right, have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Then H3 and H4 are both with BGE, so I'll read those in together. Regarding the Big Creek Bridge upgrade on Thompson Road, it's an authorization of invoice, and H4 is regarding the Brushy Creek Bridge upgrade on 7 Mile Lane invoice. Amy?
So later on, I think we're asking you to approve us going for bid on these two projects. So this was just BG&E's invoices for getting everything ready for bidding.
Okay. All right, any questions?
Motion to approve H3 and H4.
All right.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
H5 is regarding South Old Bruceville Road and tributary to Prather Creek Culvert Replacement Project and professional services agreement with Langerman Engineering, authorization of invoice. Amy?
I think this is Langerman's last invoice for any of the testing that we did out on South Old Bruceville Road.
Good. Motion to approve. Second.
All right, have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
All right, moving on to item I, budget amendments. I1's regarding the FY26 budget. Francis?
Thank you. So starting with I1A1, this is for the county auditor's office, for our office. This is a budget amendment we're requesting to move within our department to other services and charges. Our budget book printing, we didn't get before last year was complete, so that was charged to this fiscal year. So that was not budgeted for, but we do have funds within another line that we're asking to move into other services and charges. I1A2, this is also for the auditor's office in coordination with health services as well. And so this budget amendment is related to our office move that will be happening in the coming weeks. So we have tried very, very hard to use whatever we have currently. We also are utilizing shared space between the two offices, so not to duplicate space, not to duplicate equipment and furniture. But we do still have a list of things that we're asking a budget amendment for to purchase. So those being 2 refrigerators. So there are 25 people that'll be in that building. And so one will be upstairs, one downstairs. There's a shared conference room that we will both be utilizing. It is a good sized room. There is a table that we're able to repurpose, but the chairs are not in a usable state. We also have a break room that will be shared by both offices. Neither of our offices have any break room furniture to really move to the new space, so we're asking for tables and chairs to fill that space for employees. And then also in the conference room, we're asking for budget to purchase a monitor. And so that will allow us to utilize this space for meetings, but also for trainings. We'll have the space to actually be able to bring people in and have trainings there as well. The items that are just specific to the auditor's office are 2 desks. So I have one employee that does not have a desk that will fit in an office, as she's the receptionist, but her office that she will be in now does need a normal small-sized desk. And then we have one other employee that the desk that they currently have will not fit in the space that we're moving her to. We've tried to do switch-arounds, but the desk is falling to pieces. And so we're asking for the replacement of that desk as well. In total, it sums to $10,700, so we're asking to increase furniture and equipment in our department from contingencies for those purchases. Any questions? That was long-winded, but.
So all this is the minimum of what you need to open up, and there's
Yes.
nothing fancy in there like a wet bar or anything like that?
Not yet.
Okay, not yet. Okay, any questions? No questions, what's pleasure of the court?
Oh, sorry, you want to keep going?
Yeah.
I got it. So continuing on, is I-1B. This is a certification of revenue for auction proceeds. And so the related budget amendment is a request from Road and Bridge 3 to utilize those proceeds, which were the sale of equipment being used by that department, and they will increase other services and charges and capital outlay. I-1C, this is a budget amendment for the 2023 bond fund. And so this is an increase to the downtown jail conversion project or the judicial center. This is not in the original budget, but this is some work that Encore is needing to proceed with for the project. I-1D, this is multiple bond funds. This is to increase the line items for the HVAC projects that are ongoing right now. And this budget amendment is specifically for engineering cost. So when we originally approved this project, there was, of course, an engineering contract to go along with that project. That engineering contract was based on a percentage of total work done. So that was 6%. Over the span of the project life, there have been change orders to these projects. And so this is moving the engineering costs, the amount needed for engineering costs, up to 6% of the total final project. And so, again, utilizing bond funds for that amount. I-1E, this is Sheriff's Office / capital outlay. This is related to the courthouse camera project that you approved on the last agenda. So this is increasing the necessary lines in both general fund and courthouse security fund. You already approved I-1F, but I did want to point out one piece of it was the Tyler cost that was discussed already. There are two other line items that there's a request to increase, and that would be repair and maintenance for vehicle repair, as well as their travel reimbursement line. So I just wanted to point that out. I know that's already been approved. I-1G, this is General Fund JP Precinct 4, requesting to move within that department into supplies for the remainder of the year. I-1H, this is General Fund Road and Bridge Precinct 2, and they're requesting to move within their department to capital outlay to purchase a Dynapack roller. I-1I, this is General Fund Specialty Courts. They're requesting to move within that department and do furniture and equipment to purchase a docking station. I-1J, this is General Fund Constable Precinct 4, requesting to move within that department and do other services and charges and postage. I-1K, General Fund Road and Bridge Precinct 4, requesting to move within that department into capital outlay for the purchase of a Freightliner. And so that will conclude the budget amendments. I-1A through K, with the exception of F, which you've already approved.
All right, any questions? What's the pleasure?
My motion would be to, with the exception of I-1F, would be to approve I-1A1 through I-1K.
I'll second. I have a second. Any other discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
I-1L is authorization of Texas Association of Counties claim deductible invoice. This invoice totals $1,732.50 for a claim associated with Daniel Ballou, which was a law enforcement jail claim. It's been reviewed and recommended for approval.
All right, any questions?
So move.
All right, have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
We have nothing under item J this week. Under item K, grant proposals. K1 is our ARPA discussion. K1A is authorization of American Rescue Plan budget amendment or budget adjustment. Francis?
Yes, so within the ARPA funding, we had allocated funds for the Fern Valley project. When complete, it will be under budget by the $18,223.25. And so we're requesting to reallocate those budgeted funds to the county's administrative expense line, specifically for Lockwood, Andrews, and Newman. And so we have exhausted the funding in ARPA for that purpose. And so this will help get through the end of December, plus closeout time, and we won't have to utilize general funds for those administrative expenses.
Mr. Smith?
Well, that's what I would hope, because we have on a couple different occasions approved ARPA funding back to some of those entities that came in under budget, but they had other needs and we requested it, so we gave it back to them. So I'm hopeful that we won't have to use any general funds at the end of the year for anything else associated with the ARPA funding allocations that we gave out.
Yes, sir.
So my motion would be to approve the budget amendment.
All right, I'll second. Any other discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Moving down to item K3 is regarding the Texas Parks and Wildlife Local Park Grant Program, authorization of state contract, a state grant agreement and related documents. This is the Trading House grant through Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. It just states that the total project cost is $1,103,070, and our 50% match of that will be $551,535. It has been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
All right, moving down to L2, Information Technology. This item can be pulled with no action.
Full with no action on L2.
Under item M1 is authorizations regarding the 104th Annual County Judge and Commissioners Association of Texas Conference. This is on the agenda. Sponsorship letters have been sent out. There is a committee meeting coming up in May, so I think that's the only update for today, unless y'all would have anything y'all would like to share. If not, we'll move on to item M2, discussion and/or action regarding appointment of county representative to the Waco-McLennan County Library Advisory Commission. Just a reminder, we need an appointment to this commission. I don't know if y'all have any names that came to mind you'd like to recommend.
I don't have one at this time, but is there any listing of duties and responsibilities before we ask someone to serve on it that we, I'm sure they'll ask, what do I do, or what's?
We can reach out to the city commissioner and see if they can at least give us how many times they meet and that type of information.
Exactly. That would be helpful, I think, in trying to recruit someone.
I agree.
Okay, so Judge, we can just defer this week.
All right, I'll make a motion, we defer.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Moving down to item M4, authorization to submit requests for unclaimed property capital credits from the Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts. So we annually get this letter from the comptroller indicating that McLennan County could possibly have a portion of unclaimed property capital credits from the electric cooperatives. And so if we wish to receive those funds, we need to submit this letter by the end of July. And so it's our recommendation to submit this request letter.
I'll make a motion, we submit that request letter.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion?
Have we ever received funding in the past?
We have.
Have we? More than the price of a stamp?
Last year, for 2025, we received $21,400.
Wow.
And I think it's been pretty consistent. I can go back other years.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. Thank you.
All right. Let's see, I made a motion, I think.
Give a second.
Second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
M5 is acceptance of Lakeland Hills Drive and Lakeland Hills Circle into the county road system for maintenance subject to upfront payment for improvement of the roads in Precinct 2. And it's my understanding this needs to be deferred today.
Yes, sir. Let's defer that. We have a meeting with them coming up May the 5th, so.
All right. Yeah, is that a motion to defer?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Second.
Have a motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
M6 is authorization of fixed asset transfer form for asset transfer of vehicle from Road Bridge Precinct 4 to the Sheriff's Office. Major Ives?
Precinct 4 had this van, I believe it was a McPup's van. They contacted us and asked if we could find a use for it. It's fairly low mileage. We could always, find a use for a vehicle like this, whether it's for transport, courthouse security, whatever it gets reallocated to. So we'd like for the court to approve this so we can get some service life out of this vehicle.
All right, I'll make a motion, we approve the transfer.
Second.
Motion made and second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
M7 is regarding the McClendon County Employee Policy Guide, and there's two items here. M7A is authorization of revision to section 2.04, conflicts of interest, addition of subsection B, policy on acceptance of door prizes, and then M7B is authorization of revision to section 2.07, expectations of conduct, subsection A, unacceptable employee conduct. Anna?
Yes. The first amendment that's being requested under conflicts of interest, we are adding a section on acceptance of door prizes, a policy and process for that. So anything that appears to be above $50 in value, an employee needs to notify their elected official or department head if by way of a conference that's work-related, they win a door prize, they need to report that to their elected official or department head, and then also submit a written disclosure to the county auditor's office for review. And then there's a determination by the county judge's office or appropriate authority as to whether or not the employee is allowed to keep the prize, or if it needs to become county property or be presented to Commissioner's Court for review.
What's the limit on that?
$50.
Oh, 50.
How was that number, how did you arrive at 50?
So the policy was reviewed by the purchasing office and the auditor's office. And so if you guys have a threshold.
That's what we've seen in some other policies.
Other policy, okay. I was just trying to figure out how many Snicker bars that would be. Is that aggregate or individual?
That's a
That's
a good question.
It does.
In my opinion.
I think it is too.
Okay.
So maybe $250?
Okay.
Yeah, that was just a number we can.
I don't know if anybody ever won anything. I mean, I'm not being ugly. I don't know of anything.
Well, the guy the commissioner used to sit in that seat, it took a van to get all this stuff back.
That he won? Okay, okay.
So we can adjust that, and of course, the purpose is to ensure there isn't any kind of perceived conflict of interest in receiving the door prize. And so we can adjust the amount prior to.
Suggestion.
I don't have a problem with adjusting the amount, and that seems reasonable. I would hate for somebody who's willing to attend and.
Yeah, that's mine.
They benefit the county by being there and learning something, and then they're lucky enough to win a door prize and let's take it away from them. So
that's
a laptop or anything, iPad, I'd like to.
Well, anything's $50 now.
I mean, gosh, yes.
Especially your Snickers.
I didn't necessarily ask about aggregate or individual, so that's true.
Okay, so we're recommending, the court is there a motion and a second to recommend $250?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Motion made, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
The second amendment that's being requested is a revision to 2.07 expectations of conduct, and we're just adding a bullet to the list of unacceptable employee conduct, restricting bringing animals or pets to the workplace, with the exceptions of ADA-defined animals or animals that are performing a county work function, like law enforcement canine, or I think I referenced a therapy animal for crime victims as examples.
Have we had a problem with this?
Yes.
We have? Okay.
There's been, I'm gonna say it's been an issue.
Okay.
Yeah, and so, it kinda came up, it's a new fad.
Yeah.
And, so it affects other people in the office sometimes, or in the courtroom. And so, it's not mandated by anything. And so,
Well, my cat Whiskers is gonna be mad that he can't come and
Well,
sit in the window. in my office.
Tell your cat Whiskers to get on Zoom and watch it.
So it's a safety issue of
Yeah,
county,
I agree, 100%.
cleanliness, sanitary issue. And so we're just trying to prevent.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Reminds me of, not my dog joke, but I won't tell it. All right,
I make a motion.
I'll second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose, pass.
Thank you.
All right, M8 is announcement of interest and/or possible future agenda topics. Don't know if anybody has anything to add today. Not, we can move on to item O, McLennan County Downtown Jail Remodel Project. O1 is regarding the construction manager at risk agreement with John W. Irwin. O and A is authorization of application for partial payment number 16. It totals $2,164,318. It has been reviewed, recommended for approval. Ken, TJ, anything y'all would like to add?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Motion to approve then.
All right, have motions.
Second.
I'll second. Any other discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
And I know we did a lot of skipping around, so we can just verify we covered all the action items.
Sage said we did, so, anything else to come before the court? Not, we stand adjourned.